morning guys, and welcome to today's video. And I am delighted to say I'm back up the moorings again, and I've come up again for sunrise. Now, the purpose of today's video, I want to talk a little bit later on about one of the apps that I use whenever I am planning a shoot, and hopefully if all goes to plan this morning, it will be a really good example of how useful it is to actually take a little bit of time and think about where the sun's going to be, and then try and pre-visualize the shot that you want to take. And yeah, so I'll share a little bit later about the app that I use, and I hope that you guys will find it very useful. But as I say, I've come up, we came up in the dark, really lovely clear skies earlier, and I'd hoped to shoot a little bit of astro, but by the time we kind of got up, the stars it was kind of getting a bit more into blue hour, so it didn't really work out, and there was a lot of cloud blowing in over the peaks. So I've just been hunting around here trying to find my composition for my first shot. Now, I did have a shot back over that way, and I'll show it up on the screen now, the composition that I had with a lovely flow of a little waterfall coming down the river, but there's just something a little bit almost unbalanced about it. I don't know whether it was because the scene was so flat because there was no light, but I may go back and revisit it earlier. But I've just wandered down a little bit and I found this other composition which I actually think I prefer. I prefer just the leading lines and the way the waterfalls are kind of filling in the foreground. But what we need is light, and that's what we don't have at the minute. The sun has not come up. It is going to be coming up just behind the camera that I'm filming on here in about 5 minutes or so. The horizon is clear, so I'm hoping that the light is going to just come in and completely transform the landscape here, and hopefully it might catch a little bit of the cloud that's rolling over the peaks as well. So I'm going to just fine tune this composition, and then I will come back to you once the light is up. Wow. Oh, this is why we do what we do. The light is just starting to creep across now. I've been fine-tuning my composition slightly, and I've actually moved maybe about 3 feet to the left, just so that I can get the peak of Donard in. I had it out of the composition the first time because it was actually covered in cloud, but it's clearing now, so I think that would be a nice thing to kind of balance up that side of the frame. But look at the sky. You might not be able to pick that up in the film. The sky's going a beautiful pink colour right behind me here, and the way the wind's blowing, those clouds are actually coming right across, so I'm really hoping they're going to blow straight across into my frame. 2.5 seconds f16. I have the Nissy V6 circular polarizer on just to cut the glare off the water, and I've got a grad on just coming down at a slight angle just to help darken the sky and help to keep a lot of those really beautiful colours. Wow, this is absolutely amazing. I may have to ditch the video slightly and start to run around and get a lot of compositions, because this light is absolutely amazing. Okay, so full disclaimer, that just went a little bit crazy. I didn't film any of it because I was literally just running around, just shooting different compositions. The light was fantastic. The light was really nice. Shot a few landscapes, shot a few panels as well. And yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll throw them up onto the screen now to let you have a look at them, and then I will have a little chat and share a few thoughts on one of the apps that I use, which I think personally is a no-brainer when it comes to landscape photography, and it's probably the most useful app that I use at the minute. So hope you like the images, and I'll be back with you in a wee second. Okay, so one of the best apps that I use for landscape photography. Now, in the past, I think I've mentioned an app called the Photographer's Ephemeris, and what it does, it allows you to work out where the sun or the moon or whatever is going to be, where it will be in the sky, at what time of day, any day of the year. So it's really, really good if you want to look at a location and figure out, okay, do I need to go there at sunrise, do I need to go there at sunset, or is there a particular time of the year that is better to shoot that location at? Now, going one step further is the Photographer's Ephemeris 3D, and it's just an app that you get for iPhone or whatever. And especially when I've been down in here shooting the mountains, it has been invaluable because not only does it show you where the position of the sun's going to be, but it will also try and predict where the light will hit. So for the likes of mountains, it's amazing because you can actually go to a particular spot. So I planned this morning that I knew standing here I could see at what time the sun was going to hit those peaks, and not only that, it actually shows you how much of the peak is going to be in the sun. Now that's obviously depending on completely perfect weather conditions, and it's a simulation, so I have found it almost 99% accurate. So I can look at locations in the mountains and I can say, okay, this time of the year, in that golden hour period, perhaps only the top parts of those peaks are going to be in the sun, whereas if I leave it to a different time of the year, there's going to be much more of them in the sun. So things like that, I have found the 3D version of the Photographer's Ephemeris absolutely invaluable. It has been amazing, and I had two options to come here this morning. I was going to go up around the Slieve na Glog, which was where my previous video was from, and whenever I looked at the 3D, I saw that the sun was going to have to be much higher in the sky by the time it was going to hit all the peaks in that valley, whereas coming to the eastern side, which is the Annalong Valley, which I'm shooting up, I was able to see that the sun pretty much has an unobstructed view from the horizon. So I knew that I would get all of the golden hour light this morning in this location, whereas on the other one I was going to have to maybe wait probably a good 40 minutes before the sun would be hitting those peaks, and by that stage it's not going to be just as nice and just as warm. So yeah, you know, there are loads of apps. I do use the normal Photographer's Ephemeris, and I use PhotoPills for predicting things and trying to work out where the sun and whatnot's going to be. But the 3D one, I don't know how it works around coastlines and things. I haven't really tried it there, but if you are into your hiking or if you're into your mountain photography, check it out, because if you're trying to plan a shoot, I think you're really, really going to benefit. So I think I'm going to wrap the video up here this morning. It's maybe a little bit shorter than normal, but hopefully I will have had a lot of images to share with you. We did get some really, really nice light, and hopefully I've also got another image for my Pano project. So yeah, as always guys, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, make sure and hit the subscribe button, give the video a little thumbs up or a like, and I will see you in the next one.